guys, welcome back to Hey Mama. Today we've got the amazing, wonderful Rebecca Bowers back on here today, and we're talking about your child's picky eating, protein consumption, and really when it comes to if they're not getting the best nutrition, especially protein, how their body looks dysregulated and it's not a sensory response whatsoever. Becca has significant education and background, not only being a speech language pathologist, but working with protein and nutrition. She works heavily out of Arbonne, and I'd love for Becca to talk about that because you yourself, being a mama, have found wonderful hacks utilizing protein to really help level out your child personally and how that impacts their self-regulation. So I love your knowledge because I think this is really going to support some mamas today.
Oh man, I hope so. Yes, that's my desire, are those hacks, right? Those
Right.
tips. And I can speak just with my own self and with my own son, who has had to work through regulating himself and kind of looking at the difference between, is this really regulation or is his blood sugar just low?
Yes.
Yeah. And you look at like what are kids hopping to? School early in the morning, really, really focusing through and, working hard during the day. Then they might hop off to one sport or two sports or late night practice. And then getting into bed and then starting the day all over again. And protein, guys, helps it helps do a lot of things, but it helps to regulate that blood sugar. You know,
Absolutely.
it takes a lot longer to burn through a carbohydrate. Quick energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
And that's what all the kids eat too, right?
yeah,
That's
that's what they're
it's
all eating.
it's the
Yeah,
goldfish and the munchies and the crackers and the waffles, and you're like, and you wonder know why your poor teachers at 10 a.m. are like they're toast.
right. Right. Yeah, it's just like this wild hamster wheel. And so yeah, looking at that, I'm like, okay, all right, we need to figure out efficient, yummy protein snacks, breakfast items, on the go, snacks that we can do. And so I have really played around. I love Arbonne's protein. It doesn't have all the artificial ingredients. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have all the potential inflammatory triggers like the gluten, the dairy, the soy, or the artificial ingredients, but it tastes absolutely delicious.
It
And
does.
here's the thing, you can hide protein in smoothies. You can hide protein in cookies. You can hide protein in waffles. And I have loved tinkering around with those
Mhm.
recipes, finding what works. Some things I can make quickly, like a smoothie, and I can throw the berries, I can throw the greens in there. So I'm adding a little fiber to the protein, which again is just helping. We've talked a little bit about gut health in the past. That's going to
Mhm.
help support that. Waffles, you can make a big batch on the weekend. You can throw them in the fridge and then you pop them in the toaster oven. That
Oh,
takes
God.
2 quick minutes. And you compare that to maybe a waffle you would purchase at the store. You really want
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that it's predominantly protein.
Right.
And you want to make sure that it's not loaded up with the artificial sweeteners and those sorts of things, because that kind of works against your cause. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I've just noticed a big difference when kiddos have a really solid level of protein, then they're able to focus, attend, they feel ready, they feel good, they want to, I think for the most part, they want to learn, they want to work hard,
True.
you know? And I always liken that to adults. What do we feel like if
Yeah.
we're on the carbohydrate roller coaster?
Well, it's that up and down where, it's great, it's easy, and they want the donut and they want those things. But even as adults, how do you feel after that big sugary frappuccino and a
Yeah.
donut? You hit that wall so quick, and we
Yeah.
have fully developed brains, right? And
Yes.
then here we have a 5-year-old who's had his French toast sticks and his chocolate milk,
Hmm.
and he has sensory challenges. This is for any challenge, any
Yeah.
child, and we don't give them protein, so then their
Hmm.
muscles and brain don't get the fuel, and
Right.
so they're tired, and then they go in a
Hmm.
hypoglycemic crash. And you have
Right.
this sweet teacher that has 25 kids in a classroom,
Right.
or a mama that's bringing their child to therapy, and by
Yes.
this time they have no fuel, they have no sugar left in their body.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
then you've got this dysregulated kid, and they go,
Yeah.
speech isn't sticking, OT's not working.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then you go, but hey, if you throw a scoop of protein, because what I love about Arbonne's protein, it's very bakeable. I have
Yes.
made it with Rice Krispie treats. I have put them
Yes.
in muffins for my boys, and what I find is not grumpy, dysregulated teenagers at the end of the
Yeah.
day,
Yes.
which everybody's
Yes.
happy.
Yes. I was going to say that's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Becca, for that. I appreciate it. Is there any other tips you want to, throw out there in regards to protein? Because I know you make the best protein cookies at the office. Because when you give them to us, they're gone. We're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll take one, I'll take two, because it
Yeah.
does. It levels out your blood sugar and your
Hmm.
energy throughout the day.
Yeah, my biggest encouragement is because I have a lot of moms that say, my kid won't eat that.
Yeah,
Ooh, I don't, they're not going to like that. This is my encouragement. Keep trying.
yeah.
Keep trying. I thank you about the protein cookies. I love making them, but they did not start out that delicious. I had to tinker, I had to tinker with it. But my motivation was I want to help have options that are tasty, that my crew's going to eat, and that are passing that taste test. So I
Yeah.
feel confident passing this on. And then everybody's happy because everybody feels good. They've got ample protein, and you can do what you're called to do. So,
I
yeah.
think that's awesome, because if you're investing in all your time and money and energy into sports, school, therapies, let's look at those foundational root supports. Because at the
Yep.
end of the day, we want your child to be discharged. We want them to grow. And if we're
Yes.
not giving their brain and body that support, we're just riding that oscillating coaster. And then
Hmm.
the therapies are going to have a hard time sticking.
Yeah,
Thank
so kind of an ending. I think that's a great thought to have is when we're in therapies and you're checking the check boxes. You're like, oh, we're doing this, we're doing all the tools to regulate, we've got the visual chart, we're modeling, we're playing, we're coaching on what to say, and something's not tweaking, then let's have the conversation. All
you.
right, what's protein look like and how can we help support you in that? And
Mm,
so I
You
think that's a
you
great last point.
you nailed it, Miss Becca. Thank you so much for everything.
Yeah.
I love your education and passion. And stay tuned, guys, because I know Miss Becca will be continuing throwing out one hitters on our NeuroSpark Instagram,
Yeah.
as well as our Hey Mama Instagram podcast. Because what
Yeah.
I'm hoping is maybe she'll be able to share with us a recipe that y'all can use with her protein.
Just maybe.
I'll see y'all later. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.